Now we're going to go ahead and proceed with our layer by layer method and put the rest of the outer 3x3 skeleton in. The way to do this is I'm going to pick one R move, and it's going to be this, and that's what I'm going to start rolling everything in. I'm going to take my fixed center and move it to the back, because I risk if I use this as an R move and I move something in, I'm going to mess up everything that I did. But if I use this as an R move, these will remain as centers. Now, what's going to happen is one of these, just one of these edges is going to be taken out. But that's okay, it's easily placed back in. So let's find a corner. This is blue, orange, and yellow. I'm going to roll this in and find the orange and yellow edge pieces. Right over here, orange and yellow. And now I'm going to roll this into here doing RIDI-RD moves, our old friend. RIDI-RD, RIDI-RD, RIDI-RD. So now that's it. Now you don't have to do the RIDI-RD, I just do that because it's easiest to explain. I find another blue corner. This is red and yellow. So I'm going to move this over here. And once again, RIDI-RD this. RIDI-RD. So now that's in. So this is in the ready position. Red and white. Move it here. And I'll go ahead and do that. Now I'm not going to do RIDI-RD. You can, but you can just kind of whip it around like this. So this is in. I've got one more to go. This is in the right position, but it's not rotated correctly. So I'm just going to do one of these, turn and turn. Okay, so now this is all fine. I'm going to move this back where it needs to be. Now notice by doing this, by just having one R position, all of these are still fine. These edges here, this is the only one that's not good. But that's okay, because now continuing my layer by layer method, I only have one edge to do, and it's one that is by two fixed centers. So because of that, I can just roll it in. So here, this is over here, roll it in over here. UR, UIRI, blah, blah, plank, clunk, and that's in. So that's all in. We have the last layer over here. So once again, look at edges. Now the reason that I did that is because I took the parity out. So I can have the confidence that this is not going to give me that issue where I have two in and two out. Now you may say, well, why don't you just do that same algorithm at this time? Why are you doing it again? And the reason is because if you do that algorithm, you're going to mess up what you did here. So I put it in first when you're going to mess it up anyway. I figure just do the outer to inner edges, see if the parity exists, fix it if it's there, and then we move on. So I've got these two here. I'm going to move it in this position, so it's the L position, and I'm going to go ahead and do my FRU, RIUI, FI. These two are in, FRU, RIUI, FI. Good, 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 and good. So now we should just have one, or none, or all. So I'm going to go ahead and whip these around, making sure that my R move contains my fixed center and not my non-fixed center. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. And as predicted, just one is in and the rest aren't. But we prepared for that. So I'm going to move this here, keeping this stationary. These will rotate these around. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. And now we're good. So then it's a matter of corners. Now the good news with this is that it doesn't matter fixed versus non-fixed. You've gone beyond that. You've done your center reduction, you've done all of that. The crazy portion of this is pretty much been fixed. So this is in, as you can see, this is not, which means that none of them are. So we're going to do the algorithm to whip these around. UR, UILI, URI, UIL. I am assuming knowledge of how to solve a 3x3 using beginner's method. This is in, so these just need to be rolled in by the familiar RIDI-RD, RIDI-RD. Move the next one in line and do the same thing. This one you can't cut any corners with. And just with a couple of algorithms and mostly strategy, you now have the outer portion, the outer skeleton of the 3x3 solved. Now to put these in. Like I say, because we weren't kind enough to have all of these as stationary circles, these guys moved it out. So what I'm going to show you is an algorithm that you're going to be able to use with this and most all other crazy 3x3 cubes. You can even use this algorithm with a crazy Megamix. What this is going to do is it's going to cause three cycling of these inner inner corners. The way to set this up is here's what needs to happen. On the top, there is a non-stationary side. Has to be a non-stationary side. Just opposite that, on the bottom, has to be a stationary side. So non-stationary at the top, stationary at the bottom. The other criteria is that you can't move one of these, the other non-stationary side. So you're going to have a non-stationary at the top, and it's probably best to put the other non-stationary at the back. Now you can put it over here. You just have to remember to not do any R moves. You can put it here, you just have to remember not to do any L moves. But here's what this algorithm does. What it's going to do is it's going to take this, there's a right-sided version and a left-sided version. The right side will take this and move it to here, this and move it to, well, here, or here, or here, and then it'll take whichever one of these you used and move it over here. So this to here, and this to here. Or this to here, this to, say, here, and this to here. The reason is because you're going to be doing a D move, or a DI move, or a 2D move. Whichever you decide to do is what is going to participate in the 3 cycle. So there's the right-sided version. The left-sided version is going to take this, move this to here, this to here if you do a D, or here if you do a DI, or here if you do a 2D. So here's what that's going to look like. Now, it's kind of a bear of a algorithm, but it is fairly intuitive and it does make some sense as you're watching it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to see that this is here. I'm going to move this over here, and I want to move this to here. So this is going to be the left-sided version, just like this. So this will come to here, which will be blue to blue. This green I'd like to put in where it's needed, which is over here somewhere. So I'm going to do a 2D, which will move this over to here. So this will come here, this will come here, and this will come back up here. So I'll put 2 in. The left-sided version of this is going to be LI, UL, FI, LF, LI. And then you do whatever D, DI, or 2D that you need to do. In this case, I'm going to go 2D, 1, 2. And then finish it up with the second half with L, FI, LI, F, LI, UI, and L. Then remember to move it back with the 2D. Now, I didn't have to, but that's how I deconstructed the puzzle. But in any case, you'll notice that the blue is over here, the green is over here, and this is up over here. Then you reconstruct it back. All right, so that's the left-sided version. The right-sided version, if I were to do that here, this will come here, this will come to, well, this green over here, and then this yellow will come up over here. So here's the right-sided version. That's going to be R, UI, RI, F, RI, FI, R. Then do your D, DI, or 2D, 2, and then finish it up with RI, FR, FI, RU, RI, and then 2D. So you'll see that this is in and this is in. Then we reconstruct the puzzle back. Now, believe it or not, this goes a lot quicker than you think if you set up putting 2 in or 3 in. Try to do exchanging where you put 2 in place, or occasionally even 3 in place. So let's see what we can. Now, we can do it from this perspective, or we can do it from this perspective, as long as I have something that's non-fixed. So what I oftentimes try to do is optimize as much as I can. So we can move this here or here. So this orange can come to here, rather this yellow can come to here, this orange can come to here, and this can come up over here. So that's going to be the right permutation, R, UI, RI, F, RI, FI, R, bring it in, RI, FR, FI, RU, bring it down, and then bring it back. So you can see these got moved in just fine. Well, there's another yellow. Move this yellow to here. This red will come over here. This will come up over here. Left permutation, LI-UL, FI-LF, LI. move a D, then L, F-I-L-I, F, L-I-U-I, down, and bring it in. All right, so we can keep doing that. So let's see what else we've got. This is all filled in on the bottom. Now to do this green, what I can do is just, what I could do is move this green here, and I can always just move it up here. So green to green, red, to red, then this green will come over here. So left permutation, turn, move this up, bring it in, turn, down, and bring it back. So that moves, did it pretty well. Bring this over here, this green can come over to here, or I can work on the yellow, but not too much going on over there. So what I can do maybe is do it from a different perspective. See, as long as, if this is on the right side and this is the non-fixed, as long as I'm doing the left permutation, I'm okay. But it's not going to work over there. So what I might do is abandon that and just do it from here. Okay, I can move this here, move this over here. So white to white, red to, let's see, I could move this over here. So this red will come here, and then I'll end up with another white one over here. So left-sided permutation, L-I-U-L, F-I-L-F, bring this up here, move this here, L, F-I-L-I, F, L-I-U-I, down and across. So that moves that over here. Now remember to deconstruct it. Don't get yourself too wound around down the rabbit hole. Okay, so I have another white here. So there's more deconstruction that I can do. For instance, see this blue here? I'm going to take this, I'm going to wind this down over here. I just have to remember all the complexities that I'm doing. Move this over here so that this blue can come here. This hopefully can find a green. There's a green here, but it's the wrong one because this will move to here. I need it to move over here. So this to here. It'll be worth it if I can maybe move an orange one in here, but I don't have that. So I'm really just going to be putting one in. I'll end up with a white over here, so that's fine. Turn, bring it in, bang, zoom, pow, splat, yoink, and down. Okay, so I did put this one in here, which I guess is good enough for now. Got to be careful how I'm doing this. Okay, so I've got two whites. Now I could do the same kind of concept, move this down here, then move this back over here and see what we've got. Now, I'm going to do one more move, and that's all I'm going to do, otherwise I won't find my way back home. This actually belongs here. So this to over here, and now if I do this, this red is going to find a home here. So right hand variation, I just have to remember to do this when I'm reconstructing it. R, U-I-R-I, F, R-I, F-I, R, move this in, R-I, F-R, F-I-R-U, in and down. Now very quickly put this back. I can see that this needs to come back into here. This comes here, and this comes here. So as you can see, we're making some pretty good progress with it. And to me, this is the funnest part of it because it's all set up, positioning, repositioning. That stuff's pretty fun. Anyway, this yellow can find a nice home with this, here to here. Green to, well, I could just put it in with another green. That'll be okay. I'm not losing anything. But wouldn't it be great if I can coordinate a yellow to come up here, or put this in with a green that's out? Well, here's a green that's out. So here's what I'm going to do. This green is out. I'm going to double turn this over here, but this is not going to end up where this should be. So never mind. Anyway, we'll go ahead and do that. L-I-U-L. Bang, bang, zoom, pow, splat. Well, here. Clink, clink, clunk. After a while, it becomes harder to describe what I'm doing rather than just do it. So there that is. All right, let me change my perspective here a little bit. I'll move this to the top. I've got an orange here. So I'm going to double turn this here, move this like so. Orange to orange, white to, I don't have another white that I can use. I don't have this, but I can move it into one of these. So again, no harm, no foul. R, U, I, R, I, F, R, I, F, I, bring it in. Move the white one in here. R, I, bang, zoom, pow, splat, clink, and hug. So that did the trick over here. And now let's see what we've got. So once again, now I'm not going to be able to move this here. I've actually got a trifecta going on here. I'd like to get that out if I can. But I can move this over to here. I've got this green in a ready position. I can move this up here. This to here. This to, is there an errant blue? Well, it's this, so I'm not going to be able to do too much with that. So this will come here. Now, if I can't move this in anywhere, at least I can move it into something that isn't going to destroy anything. So this one here is just sort of hanging out. So I'm going to move this over here to participate with the 3 cycle. This will come here, this will come here, this will come here. At least I'll have the green one in. R, U, I, R, I, F, F, I, move it in, bring this here, turn and turn. Okay, so this is there. Made a little bit of progress with that. Now let's see what we've got. At least this pulled this away from there, I think. Anyway, I can move this now. Now I can pull this away from these guys. This will come here. This will go to, well, it'd be nice if I had an orange here. And I actually can move an orange in because I can move it like so. So this will participate in it. This red will come here, this orange will come here, this orange will come here. So basically I'll be moving all of my reds and oranges where I need it. R, U, I, R, I, F, bang, zoom. Now it's going to be a 2D. Turn, 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 and 2D. Okay, so that made a little bit more ground and up. So now you might find yourself very quickly coming to the last 2, which is here. I got to pull them away from each other. So I'm going to move this to here, and this white one, so this will be where it needs to be. This white, well, I'm going to move in to this blue. So I'm really exchanging one for another. I'm going to put a blue here so that's not part of this, put the white over here so it's not part of that. In other words, I'm switching it from these 2 being off to these 2 being off. This white will end up down here. So R-I, U, R, bang, zoom, and bang. So what I like about this too is the planning that has to happen. So now I've moved them away from each other. So now what? Well, I could go like this, but it means doing the right-sided variation, and I can't with this over here. So I may have to do some fancy footwork. Let's do it from this perspective and see what can move where. This can move up here, or better yet, this can move over here. Not bad. Put this in a ready position here. Now I'll have to move it over here. Now I can move this over to here. Pretty easy to find my way back home, I think, but this blue will come here, this white to this white, and this white over here. So this should do it. This should finish the solve. L-I-U-L, F-I-F, bring it up, move this into place here, turn, 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 down, move it in, and everything should be completely reduced. Now I just have to find my way back home, which shouldn't be too hard. Move it in, and done. So there it is. That, I hope, is a little bit more clear of an Earth cube tutorial. Remember, it's a puzzle within a puzzle. We've pulled it out of its natural circle habitat, created some edges out of centers and centers out of edges, I suppose. But I hope that clarifies it. If you need any more clarification with any of the others, let me know. Hopefully this brought it into a little bit more perspective. Thanks for watching.